We have no need of that. The look on your face tells the Queen all she needs to know about hers. The looking glass is banished from our palace, that one. And those. And that one, and that one. All gone.
The succession day is the 30th since you came to the throne. Your knights will fight each other for your favor.
Perhaps he will follow this by disappearing. 30 years a queen. 26 since she became one. That means she's astonishingly young. Although not as astonishingly young as the Earl of Essex, Father.
He's a rising star, gentlemen. You must learn to live with him.
What precisely are his talents? I never can remember. I hear he has very expressive eyes. After his father died, I was happy to have him in my care, but I could not say I know him.
Sir Eglantine of the Grange, beg you to desist from being the champion of our glorious Queen.
I love the Queen more than you ever will, young man. Stand aside, for I am Sir Greatheart, the sweetest knight in all chivalry.
Sir Walter Raleigh's knightly character is obviously not based upon his own. Walsingham's daughter seems quite an admirer of the Earl.
Yeah, boy!
Today, it is water that wears our favor. My favor, Sir Walter. Huh?
Your Majesty.
I see every fool must have a favor.
I'll call on you, sir, for your apology.
Shall I?
No, 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 no. Dogs must have blood somehow, my lord.
Lady Frances Walsingham is wearing a very pretty dress. One would think Sir Francis's daughter wishes to be the centre of attention. The court of Lady Frances Walsingham, we could compose anthems in her honour.
Your Majesty.
Come, ladies, we are going to watch the Earl of Essex at his favourite pastime, which is trying to kill people. And Francis, you will walk with me.
Yes, Essex, that's it.
You look pale, Francis.
Good carry.
Anything the matter? Who do you favour, Sir Walter or Essex?
Guard up.
Do you approve of duelling, Francis?
It is
It is forbidden, as are so many other things.
Yes. Well done, sir. Well done. Pull his great heart down.
Do not come out on my side, ma'am.
Oh, no, no. You must be checked. Men like you must be ruled. As was the Earl of Leicester in the end.
I am always your servant, ma'am.
Yes, I do believe you are. Oh, but you're wounded. Oh, I must dress your wounds myself. Come.
If I've offended your Majesty,
I ever loved a loser. Water. Which dressings, Francis? Gone wrong, girl.
We are going to the Earl of Leicester's apartments, ma'am.
Yes, they're yours now. You like my present? You like his rooms?
Very much.
Yes. The Earl of Leicester had excellent taste. They're expensively furnished. You like expensive things, and you have nothing but debts. Well, go on. They're yours now.
Everything I have is yours.
Well, let us pretend that it is yours. It will spice up the act of crossing the threshold. Oh, you're looking at my ankle, Essex.
Well, your Majesty has a very well-shaped ankle. And a perfect figure.
Yes, well, I have a grateful nation gnawing at my insides. Anne? Sit, we must bind up your wounds. We have no need of you, Dr. Lopez. Oh, you look like a naughty schoolboy. Why should you not like that foolish girl? I can see that you like her.
Oh, she's nothing.
Nothing compared to me. I know.
Oh, you're very kind,
would be even kinder.
Your Majesty knows that my love for you
Is not simply a need for my favor. How do I know that? Possibly. You seem sincere enough. Great things hang on a kiss, Robin, when princes are involved. But you better kiss me again.
Of her.
Well, let us hear of your proposed expedition.
It is not precisely our proposed expedition, Your Majesty.
Lord Burleigh, do not distance yourself from my displeasure until you know that I'm displeased. May be a very good proposition for all I know.
Francis.
Portugal is occupied by Spain. Their exiled king, Don Antonio, is therefore on our side against the Spanish. Our thought was that before the Spanish recover from the loss of the Armada, we
should attempt to reinstate our friend Don Antonio on the throne of Portugal.
Precisely.
Send a military expedition? Maybe a sound notion. If we succeeded, Portugal would be ours, and we would control the Spanish trade routes to the Americas.
Oh. Your Majesty is able to read the minds of her advisors.
That's not so difficult, especially since you spent all of your time trying to read mine. You have my approval. Do not inform the Earl of Essex. If he hears of it, tell him he is under no circumstances to go. What's it going to be? Six again!
I swear you're playing with loaded dice.
Princes do not cheat at cards. They simply have the rules altered to suit their needs. Oh, you lose too much, and you with so little to lose. We'll play a new game.
Which is?
Essex's Folly. I take all the cards, and you have to take them off me.
How?
By force, if necessary. But not too much force for you to win would be treason.
There's no fun in such a game.
Well, we'll not play it then. Stand there. There, like that.
Madam. I know the hour is early, but if Your Majesty pleases, we have need of conversation. Private conversation. Affairs of state.
my lord. You wait for Her Majesty?
I wait for my father, my lord. I hope he pleads my case with the Queen.
I cannot believe you have offended her, Sir Robert. You were always such a good boy.
I was obliged to be, my lord, by my position.
Answer me this. When I was your father's ward and we were growing up together in Lord Birdie's house, was I...
What, my lord?
Oh, it's no matter.
He wishes me to have a seat on the council.
Well. We grow great.
I have worked for it, my lord.
Yes, you have.
Oh, Robert, you have no place.
What it must be to have a father.
Yes. I agree with that. Thank you.
Happy were he could finish forth his fate in some unhaunted desert, where obscure from all society, from love and hate of worldly folk. Then might he sleep secure, then wake again and ever give God praise.
What?
How can I read when you look at me like that?
How do I look at you?
As if you were deciding whether or not to eat me.
What do you wish for me?
For you to be mistress of what you wish most.
Why, then you wish for my happiness. And to gain that, I would have to set aside my kingdom. That being done, who would have me?
I would, Bess. I would. You never say what it is you feel for me.
You know what it is I feel.
Do I?
How do I know what you truly feel, even though you never stop saying?
I love you.
There, you said it again. Does that make it true?
There is an expedition to Lisbon.
What expedition is that?
Or is there more than one?
You should not even been told of it. I gave strict orders. Robin, you're forbidden to go.
Mum, I have no money. I have to go. I'm so far in debt, my estates will be sold to pay them off. You promised me much.
Well, you shall have what you need when the time comes.
I could profit by the Lisbon expedition, Bess. There are Spanish ships there piled high with Spanish gold. Do you want a spoiled boy by your side, or would you not have me prove myself a proper man?
Just be patient. There's a tax on sweet wines. I told you, Robin, you're forbidden to go. Let's stop our mouths. No more talk. You drink too much.
Sweet wine. You're so kind to me.
Lie there. Lie there till morning.
what I must not say.
Yes, I love you. The more I let you go, the more I seem to have need of you. And it will not go away no matter how much I command it.
Do you think the Queen is mistress of her feelings?
Oh. No, she's a fool for love. Hopeless fool. No. Lisbon? Francis? Anne? Where is he?
Who, Mum?
Essex, you stupid, stupid girl! Where is he gone? How could you let this happen?
We saw nothing, Mum.
Call the master groom. Tell him to get to the stables. On no account is the Earl of Essex to be allowed to ride out. Hurry! Or I'll hang the pair of you!
Madam, French ambassador.
Can wait.
Oh, what shall I tell him, ma'am?
Tell him the Queen is looking for the Earl of Essex.
Madam, it's too late. The Earl of Essex has already left. He rode for Falmouth overnight. He's on his way to Lisbon.
On his way? Did you say?
His way?
Madam, had we known, we would...
Would have? Would have? I can't have what you would have done. You traitorous dogs! I'll send you all to the gallows! You let him get away! Oh, wearisome condition of princes, laid bare for all the world to see. One word of this and you die. You hear me? Well, there's work to be done.
Wading ashore in his armor, the Earl was the first to engage the enemy. Indeed, he rode unaided to the gates of Lisbon, where he drove his pike into the wood and challenged anyone who doubted your wisdom and beauty to a duel.
Well, did anyone emerge to take up the challenge?
I imagine not, Your Majesty.
No, even a conversation with the Earl of Essex can be an alarming business.
It was not all in all, Your Majesty, though the Earl's behavior must be applauded. A profitable enterprise. Little of substance was achieved. Lisbon was not taken.
Indeed. But he's apologized for his disobedience, and he promises me he'll be home within the month. We've forgiven him. He is dear to us. And brave, it seems.
Brave indeed to have defied your Majesty so obviously.
Brave young men are to be encouraged, pygmy.
Welcome to the council, my boy. public day, Your Majesty. Is it ever permitted for a subject to hurl themselves into the Queen's arms?
In private, it is sometimes actively encouraged.
Then I'm forgiven.
When you are in my presence, all is forgiven. Eyes on me, Robin. Eyes on me. And Francis, also eyes on me.
Welcome back, my lord.
Close the door, Robin. Do I seem old to you? Spare me, you are old only in years.
You do not seem old to me.
You have every appearance of sincerity.
What do I have to do to show you that I'm serious?
What do you think you have to do? You may proceed. I've promised you much, Robin, and you shall have...
What shall I have?
The tax on sweet wines. 10% of every barrel sold is yours. It's worth a fortune. You shall be rich, Robin, and you will not need to go to war. Dinner.
Yes. While I was away, I thought of you each day. And now I'm home. I seek to prove my worth again.
Oh, my ladies love to look at you.
Oh, well, I do not charge for the spectacle.
Blue eyes. Why so serious?
I think a deal upon affairs of state, Ma'am. And if I had some office, why...
And what office might that be, Robin?
Seat upon the council.
Your Majesty.
What now, Dr. Lopez? We were expecting dinner.
I bring your syrup, ma'am. As always. Your Majesty is well?
Was it not your task to tell me whether I am or no? We purpose to outlive our Dr. Lopez.
Yes, ma'am.
Matters of state require the drudgery of being both honest and accommodating. Are you accommodating, Robin?
I can be. I have as good a wit as either of the Cecils. I could serve you.
Oh, you shall have your seat on the council.
Oh, yes.
What a boy.
I will make you proud.
The Earl of Essex has his seat on the council.
Council?
She can refuse him nothing.
If, as I think, he has an interest in my daughter, it may be that Her Majesty will tire of him.
I mean no disrespect, Francis, but why should the Earl of Essex even consider marrying your daughter when he thinks he may be married to the Queen of England?
The Queen will never marry him. Not even the Earl would dream of such a thing. Let one subject raise himself up so, and there would be blood, gentlemen, blood as we've not seen in 40 years.
You ask us why we must ask you once again for money. Like any housewife to her husband, I'm loath to beg. But we do need subsidy. And what is it for? It is not that we plan for war. It is the fighting of wars long gone, and the failure of the harvests that eat away at England. Not the war will ever go away, gentlemen. Nor will the Spanish.
And will the Crown's demand for money ever go away, ma'am?
Time is the enemy of power. And this our kingdom, aged but unaging in its glory, wears out the fortune and the strength of we who serve it. And when the weight of care oppresses us, we
look to the Queen. Guard! Ladies! Stand aside! Stand aside!
Now, stand back, give us an air. Leave it to the ladies. Ladies. There we are.
Take us through to the privy chamber. And arms, close the doors. Dr. Lopez!
What do you say to my breath now, Doctor? Is it as sweet as the Azores?
Sweeter, ma'am.
Can't imagine the cause. I feel quite well. My legs still seem to work. I shall die at a time of my own choosing, Doctor, and not before.
There are those who would choose it for you, madam.
Who are they?
Is poison suspected? The Spanish.
We cannot say with certainty.
Sir. Sir Francis Bacon, my lord. I have the misfortune to be Lord Burleigh's nephew.
That's a misfortune.
Well, he offers me no employment.
Well, this is the place to look for employment, for the Queen is here.
Indeed.
No.
But does she trust those she should? Or does she only listen to my uncle?
That's true enough, Sir Francis. I sit on the council and no one listens to a word I say.
Your uncle forms well, does he not?
The rising unto place is laborious. But by indignities, men come to dignities.
Oh, he flatters her as all, Sir Francis.
Compliments do not seem to advance my career any faster than yours, my lord.
I wrote the Queen a poem complimenting her upon her breasts. In Latin. Still I'm without a position.
We are ignored. In times like this, with talk of plots.
Suspicions like bats, they ever fly by twilight. I have intelligences working for me now. Not quite the number as in Walsingham's service, but they tell me things. Things that could make you grow in Her Majesty's esteem. They tell me who has plotted on her life.
Let us proceed to the question of the Attorney Generalship. While I hesitate to lay my recommendations before Your Majesty, I feel this is the right time.
Your Majesty, I have uncovered a conspiracy here at home against your person. This morning I have arrested your physician, Dr. Lopez.
What?
Your Majesty, I'm afraid it is beyond question that this man is a traitor in the pay of Spain.
I am an innocent man.
What in God's name is this foolishness?
No foolishness, sir. The proof is in these papers. Signed confessions from the doctor's associates that bear witness to the truth that your sudden illness here at the court but 2 weeks ago was no accident. It was an attempt to poison you.
Your Majesty, this is some game of his lordship.
Dr. Lopez is a loyal servant, both to you and to the crown.
Your Majesty, I beg you.
You rash youth!
Do but consider this evidence.
Your Majesty, this is absurd.
Whom am I to believe? His confessions seem real enough. His lordship has made earnest of his conviction.
Yes, Your Majesty, but what other proof is there?
Well, what further proof is needed, ma'am?
Your Majesty, this is a very serious business, and I must object.
Shall we have no more of this feuding? How may I act when all present me with their partial arguments? We are resolved. His lordship acts out of feelings for our safety. Take him away.
Your Majesty, I am your most loyal servant. I am your most loyal servant. I am loyal subject. Victim of plots and conspiracies by those high in government. I am a Christian.
If he's a Christian, I'm an old Jew, and this is Mike Aberdeen.
It's the invention of the Earl of Essex and his friend. He has accused me of his own profit and his
Southampton says we must have something for Francis.
Oh, your lordship is too kind.
A rare triumph for Essex's boys. Your Majesty smiles upon me again.
I shall demand something. Warden of the slash doublet and ruff with extraordinary hose.
But for Francis, Southampton, Master of the Cinque Ports, Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster.
Keeper of Her Majesty's page boys.
Well, Robin, you do look handsome this morning. Oh.
Your Majesty, I mean to impress everyone with my dignity of dress.
Bacon, people who compliment me on my breasts, even in Latin, run the risk of being thought impertinent. I understand he's fond of the company of pretty youths. No wonder he's the member for Middlesex.
Now I say, sirs, that there can be no possibility of peace with Spain. They themselves admit there can be no faith with heretics.
You breathe war, slaughter, and blood, my lord.
The bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half that day.
Oh, in God's name, leave the boy alone. Has he offended so much, gentlemen? At least our new recruit speaks his mind.
I thank you for your support, ma'am.
I crave Your Majesty's pardon. It may be we have been disturbed by new evidence which has come to light in relation to Dr. Lopez.
It seems, ma'am, the Earl's confessions were extracted under torture.
What are they?
On the rack, my lord, men may speak anything. Our evidence suggests the only clear proof of the doctor's guilt are those most tainted confessions.
Is this true?
twice, Ma'am, I racked his associates. And they confessed in detail to the doctor's plan.
Leave us. Leave us now!
As Your Majesty pleases.
The Earl of Essex will remain.
I have offended you.
This was a man's life. Are we playing cards here or making judgments that affect the nation?
I sought only to serve you, Ma'am.
You act without thinking. That is not service. We will make restitution to his widow. You make her.
If thought inhibit action, then I'll not think again. I cannot deny it. For I would act for you and you alone. But if you were in danger, I would be there. And if some politician should talk against you, then I will be there to be your champion. And if I have offended you, then I beg forgiveness. For without that, I am nothing.
No. Enough, enough. You are forgiven.
May I raise the question of the Attorney Generalship?
Is that not a question for the Council, Your Lordship?
I would like to suggest Francis Bacon.
Why would you suppose I would accede to such a request? Oh. Oh, what am I to do with you? What am I to do with you?
Your Majesty plays with great sweetness.
Do you bring me music, Pygmy?
Would that it were, Ma'am. It is a pamphlet, Ma'am. It seems to suggest the Earl of Essex should be your successor. It is rather well written.
Damn your insolence, sir! Fine paper, bound carefully.
The person who printed it must be wealthy, Ma'am.
Send for the Earl of Essex.
If I may
You
say...
have no liking for him, Pygmy, that's obvious.
I have a high regard for his good qualities, even though those may not always be as much in evidence as they should be.
Go on, Pygmy.
It may be that Your Majesty's understandable fondness for his enthusiasm and courage for your cause creates a climate in the Council which does not always...
I pet him too much. Well, he is a pretty boy.
And I'm sure he's unaware of this foolishness.
Madam, I'm distressed to learn from Robert Cecil that you might think I was the author of that vile pamphlet.
You harbor no ambitions in that direction.
If I did, would I be so foolish as to commit them to paper?
Oh, you're fool enough for anything, Robin. But perhaps not this. But you must understand there is speculation about you and I, gossip. Jealousy and faction even in the council, and it may be that my favor to you is the cause of it. Never forget that government is my sacred trust, Robin.
You know I would never...
And yet my heart still rises in me when I walk into a room and you are there. Oh, and these poor feelings clamor to be heard.
I hear them, Bess.
Yeah, well, I never let them see it. But I do grow old, as do those who are long in service to me. Oh, come here. Oh.
Madam.
Sir Francis?
It is a matter of urgency, madam.
You'd best leave us, Robin.
It might be better if his lordship stayed, since it concerns him.
Oh, how so?
My daughter Frances is with child by the Earl of Essex, and I would seek to know his intentions.
She's with...
You traitorous villain, you! You villain! You villain! You villain! You!
I think the Earl intends an apology, madam.
Indeed. He's in mourning for the loss of our favor. And as might be expected, the apology is on a far grander scale than the offense. Does he not?
None of us can escape it, madam.
Francis, we hear you're not well.
To tell you truthfully, madam, it is not thought that I shall live out the year.
This cannot be.
I'm afraid it can, Your Majesty. We must look to what comes after. King James of Scotland? Is that to be discussed?
I fear we have worn you out.
I have laid down my life for the Protestant cause, madam, and I have done it gladly.
Couple. Oh, why such long faces? We did not seek
to be happy, Mom.
Happy. Her father has asked you your intentions. Well, I will tell you your intentions, sir. You shall marry her, and you will be happy. Oh, we must all marry, Robin, or so I'm told. But such a thing was not in prospect where you and I were concerned, was it?
The love I've felt for your Majesty was...
But a marriage was never in question. What Did you think to be king, Robin? Did you?
I sought your love.
Oh. All seek attendance on the Queen. She has no shortage of suitors and little inclination to play the housewife. So what could be more satisfactory than this arrangement? And you, Francis? Would you have your husband have the sovereign's love?
"'Tis my dearest wish, Your Majesty."
You may leave us, Francis. Do you have no words, sir? No. You have no need of words.
Your Majesty knows the secrets of my heart.
I'm damned if I do, sir. But it seems you must be married. Oh, pretty, pretty boy. We've heard that some persons at court may have been writing letters to...
King James of Scotland, ma'am.
Why, we must have been listening at the same door. Of course, the mere idea of that boy succeeding to my throne is absurd, but if some fool should take it upon himself to make the idea public, then we shall have any number of other fools keen to implement it as soon as possible. Out with the old woman and bring on the dribbling idiot.
Perhaps both descriptions are a little harsh, ma'am.
We grow less tolerant, Pygmy. We're alone too much. Walsingham died.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, I never cared much for the man, but...
That, ma'am?
For the moment, you and your father can fulfill his responsibilities.
I'm happy to relieve Your Majesty of some of this great burden of government business.
They say your marriage is a happy one.
I am blessed in my wife, ma'am. She sees past...
Then there's hope for the world still. Who is it?
Your Majesty?
Who's been writing these letters?
I would not like to...
Accuse anyone of treason? Some nobleman? With dreams of greatness?
I'm a great admirer of the English aristocracy, ma'am, but some of them seek to fly so high. Like Icarus, they may approach the sun of Your Majesty's favor too closely and burn their wings.
It's hard to believe, but that creature in the hat is the King of Scotland. No one must hear of this, Master Secretary. Do you understand?
We understand each other very well, ma'am.
My only wish, apart from to beg of you your kindness as always and to ask for an increase in the pension which you have so kindly allotted,
Nope.
is to beg you for some clear statement as to my surely undoubted right to succeed you on the English throne.
Undoubted. Undoubted.
Your letter assures me you will not be prejudicial to my cause.
I have come to instruct you to be less pleasant to your Catholic nobility and to ensure you do not make overtures to any nobles of our court.
Overtures, ma'am? What overtures? I have little knowledge of the English court.
Well, then you'll have to acquire some if you dream of ruling over it.
It ill becomes me to strive with a lady.
The fame of our nobility has reached even as far as Scotland, I imagine.
Our poor country is so far from the bright lights. We go to bed early and have little informed conversation.
Not even the Earl of Essex is talked of?
I have heard his name, of course. I have been told he is a very handsome lad. I've heard many tales of the handsome lads of London.
Your Majesty.
Here is a messenger from the very place. You will excuse me.
Tell me, how is it to be ruled by a woman, my lord?
I like it well, Your Majesty.
She grows old.
As do we all.
And the Earl of Essex?
Was ever kind to me, Your Majesty?
And I am kind. I shall have handsome young men around me, and we shall use women as dogs do bitches, for our pleasure and their profit. I'm sure she called that fellow over so that she can watch us at her leisure. Carefully now.
On my life, ma'am, I swear I have written no letters to King James of Scotland.
So you never think of the succession?
Why do you no longer trust me, Bess? Who is it that has come between us?
Oh, only the rest of the world. Poor foolish boy.
If I ever talked of the succession, God forbid that a day should come when England no longer has you to guide them. Then I did it to your face, unlike some others.
At the end, Lester and I were friends. I would hold you close to me in friendship.
When love is changed to kindliness, then I'm none of it.
You seek a life in politics, Robin, you'll have to learn to be a politician. The same name, but not the same.
I love the Earl of Leicester well.
And like him, you love to go to war, and since you love to fight my quarrels for me, we offer you command of the army. The Spanish have attacked Calais, and we intend to respond by taking Cadiz.
Bess!
Oh, what a boy it is still. What a boy!
The greatest command of his lordship's career, ma'am.
Indeed.
You have no doubts.
He'll join the fleet and sail for Cadiz tomorrow. Let us pray Philip's new armada is ill-prepared.
God bless Her Majesty, and damnation to the King of Spain! God save the Queen! The Queen! The Queen! The Queen!
I think this is probably the end of the peace negotiations, Your Majesty.
Let us fervently hope for the success of his lordship.
I can't believe you actually mean that, Pigby.
I think what the boy means is...
Oh, I never know what the boy means. I never know what any of you mean. But I've not ruled England these many years to be taken for more of a fool than I am. All's faction now in England. And you wish for nothing but the failure of our friends. Well, I think we've waved enough. Let us go in.
We declare today a public holiday on account of the great victory won over the Spanish at Cadiz by His Grace, the Earl of Essex. If ever a man desired to see an image of hell, it has been said, this is the Battle of Cadiz, most lively figured, and our own Earl of Essex fought most valiantly. The Earl's carriage throughout the engagement was marked to be most manly. And though the Spanish plied his soldiers with small shot, and when closely held, pressed most cruelly against this most noble Englishman, Robin of Essex stood, his sword in hand.
The sermon is not Her Majesty's taste.
I think she has little patience for compliments not directed at her. You see? I'm in danger of outshining the Queen's Majesty.
Oh, my lord, I would beg you to be careful.
One would think the Earl sacked Cadiz on his own, ma'am. He came, he killed, he returned home to celebrate.
His lordship wants war, but wars must be paid for, and so our people suffer.
Now there is bad news from Ireland, ma'am.
Catholic country on our doorstep. We shall have war there next. Speak Irish, Pygmy.
No, Your Majesty.
No, no one does. Would you like to be Lord Deputy of Ireland?
No, Your Majesty.
No. Maybe we could send the Earl of Essex. Your lordship must dine with us tonight.
If the people will let me, Bess. My person is not my own.
My lord, the people need you.
The Archbishop ordered a day of celebrations for my victory across the entire kingdom. Why did you restrict me to London, Bess? The love the people have for me is so strong.
You have not kissed me yet.
I did not presume.
Oh, presume. Presume. There. Does that surprise you, my lord? That an old woman should have such lusts of the flesh?
You're not old, Bess.
Maybe not, maybe not.
You know how I still feel for you.
Perhaps I do. Yes, of course I do. It's just that Well, I lack the assurance of youth. I question everything. And how is married life? You should take it seriously. It is a very sweet and serious thing to be married.
Oh. Is that why you've never undertaken it, ma'am?
You surprise me, my lord. I never took you for one who expected women to be consistent in their attitudes. I mean, what did you expect? For me to fall upon your neck in gratitude? For £50,000 lost and no hope of return? The jewels you brought back lost or stolen or embezzled?
I wish.
You wish, you wish, you wish. Do you wish to be Lord Deputy of Ireland, Robin?
I hardly know how to respond, ma'am.
That's obvious. Nobody wishes to be Lord Deputy of Ireland. Isn't it curious how time brings in changes? Once upon a time, we'd walk in those gardens down there and pay each other compliments, say the sweetest things. And now...
What?
Now all I can talk about is the war in Ireland, and all you can talk about is yourself. I think what you should do now, Robin, is leave.
Yes, ma'am. Of course.
So, who is it to be? Who is to undertake the governance of the Irish? Since the Irish do not seem to want to do so. I'm told the climate is mild enough and there are people who've spoken well of the whiskey. Do not be so bashful, gentlemen. They may not break out into open rebellion. They may do it quietly without informing us. Doesn't always rain there. They're not savages. Well, not all of them anyhow. Why are you all studying the table so closely?
In my view, Ma'am,
Yes, my lord.
Lord Burleigh's son would make an admirable ruler of that country.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed, ma'am. Yes, his great powers of statesmanship, his eloquence, and his application would all...
Oh, you're pleased to joke, Robin.
No, ma'am, actually, I'm doing no such thing.
I think you are.
I think that I am not.
Spotted foolish fellow! I will not suffer one more day of your insolence!
Take your hands off me! I would not endure an insult of that nature from any man, and not a woman should think she could do so.
You are speaking to the Queen of England!
I tell you, I would not have suffered it from your father's hands.
I have any idea what you're doing.
Yes, I have a very good idea, old man.
You dare to question my authority?
Cannot princes err? Cannot subjects receive wrong? Is an earthly power or authority infinite? Pardon me, madam, but I can never subscribe myself to those principles.
Then it is hard to know why you remain at court, sir. Well, gentlemen, I think we have found the right man for Ireland.
You would certainly blend in well, ma'am.
When deprived of our favor for long enough, he will soon come to heel. My dogs wear my collars, sirs, and let no one at this table ever forget that fact. With the exception of Lord Burleigh, who is under strict orders to get better. You're not well, old friend. Your poor hands, worn out with writing.
Writing and gout, madam. My closest friends.
Your brother is much affected, as are we all. This was no common funeral. The whole world mourns your father. I see the Earl of Essex has finally made an appearance.
What a deal my silence can do.
He was my father's ward, Your Majesty. We grew up together.
Oh, yes, of course. What kind of a boy was he?
So graceful, quick at sports, loved by all.
And cruel to you.
As only boys will be, when there were none to see. I was his pastime.
Turn around so I may see your face. Tears, Robin. Tears. I wonder for whom you shed them.
I know how you loved Lord Burleigh, and when I was his ward, he was ever kind to me.
That was a long time ago, Robin.
I want to serve you.
But you want to do glorious things in my service. Well, I can offer you that. I can offer you great glory, Robin. There is open rebellion in Ireland, and along with the governorship, I can offer you a great army to bring the Irish to heel.
Oh. Your Majesty shows great faith in me.
It is impossible to govern unless we trust those whom we rule. See, there are those who tell me not to trust you. And I know that one day you may come within a hair's breadth of betraying me.
Majesty, Bess, I beg you.
You will come as close to treachery as a snake to the ground. But I also know that you will never betray your country, since your country is none other than this poor self of mine, and you have loved me as men will love women, blindly without counting the cost, not thinking what they do. So you're mine, poor boy. You're all mine. Rise. You may go to Ireland on our behalf. I ever loved you, Robin. Take this ring as a testament to it. Thank you, gentlemen. Secretary? Is there no news from Ireland?
But little, ma'am. The Earl is there near 6 months.
Yes, we know that, and?
He has upwards of 16,000 men.
Yes.
He has...
What?
He has knighted many of his followers.
Oh, God in heaven.
And yet, he seems unwilling to engage the Earl of Tyrone, ma'am.
What does he think to do? Why does he not move into Ulster now, and we have so commanded him? We have heard that there is sickness amongst his soldiers, and we do fear for him, but why does he not shake and sway the branches of resistance now?
We think the Earl of Tyrone may expect a force from Spain, Your Majesty.
What are Essex's intentions? What's his army for, pygmy? Is he? I ask this with fear in my heart. Is he still loyal to us?
There is no way of knowing, ma'am.
Let me pass! Where is the Queen? Where is the Queen? Bess? Bess? Bess!
Well, what's the matter? Why
I
are you...
rode all night to be here. They would not let me pass.
What's happened? Is anyone with you?
You were angry with me, Mum.
No one's angry with you.
Tyrone is no fool, Mum. My men rode after him, but they would not fight. They came at night and they killed men in their sleep.
You're with me now. You're with me. Sit.
I made a truce, Mum. I made a truce with the Earl of Tyrone.
Oh, you poor boy. Well, you must tell me everything. But first you must rest.
How can I rest when you are the victim of false counsel?
Cecil works against me. I swear it, Bess, and you listen to him. He works against us. He writes to King James of Scotland. I have it on good authority, securing himself with your successor.
Don't think about the secretary. Don't think about that little pygmy.
You understand?
Yes,
You understand? I
yes,
had no
I
choice.
Understand. Shh. You must sleep. Sleep and then we'll talk.
Do you love me?
Of course. Dorothy, see to the Earl.
Yes, Your Majesty. Let me help you with these, sir. Your Majesty, do you want...
Ma'am.
The Earl has deserted his command. He seeks our approval. He's concluded some sort of a truce with Tyrone on his own initiative. How many men has he?
Only a handful.
So you're sure the army is still in Ireland?
As far as I know, ma'am.
God, that he should do this to me, by whom he had so many favors. When he is awake and dressed, call him to our presence.
May I withdraw when he comes to you, ma'am, with your permission?
No, you do not have my permission. You can stay and watch your little friend. It's time to find out who is with us and who is against us. Cecil.
Thank you again, my dear.
Whispering to your mistress, pygmy, huh? The world will think you're sharing secrets. I did not expect so many to be present at our meeting, Bess.
Sometimes it is advisable to have witnesses to conversations, my lord.
Why so cold?
The charges against the Earl of Essex are as follows. That he has been contemptuously disobedient to Her Majesty's instructions by returning to England. That on several...
Stay a moment, sir. Is this a trial? Have I done something to offend Your Majesty?
You have come unannounced into my chamber. You've returned from your commission with no victories gained and no peace imposed upon the territories in Ireland. You have had private conversation with the notorious traitor Tyrone, whose submission or death are the only things we require of him. You have made free with our person. You have thought to touch the scepter of a prince, which is a thing not commendable in you.
I have come here only seeking your help and support in return for the great services I have offered you.
Take him under guard to Essex House. The Earl is to be confined there until our pleasure dictates otherwise.
Bess. Bess, you said that you love me!
I ever loved you well, and ever did you service, but I no longer recognize the thing I loved. Love alters when it alteration finds.
You said you could never...
I said more than I should, perhaps. The government of the tongue is not a science you ever learned well, my lord.
I am amazed to see you in this company, Francis.
The way to great office is by a winding stair. Get him out of my sight! And now, what are we to do with the Earl of Essex, eh? What in heaven's name are we to do with him now? Is the army loyal to us?
At Mountjoy, the Earl's man has the army, even if he's still in Ireland. But the Earl still has powerful friends here.
Unfortunately for him, they no longer include you and me, eh, Pygmy?
So, we may proceed to trial?
For the moment, we do nothing. We wait. We must be seen to treat him well. Relax the guard on him. How loyal is he?
Very well.
Odi et amo. Quare id facium fortasse requiris. Nescio, sid fieri sentio, et exclusio. Oh, my dear Francis. Are you in mourning for your husband's reputation?
I wear your colours, Mom.
You were always a good girl, Francis.
As I love him, Your Majesty, I wish him to love you.
So. How does the Earl?
Not well, Your Majesty.
Oh, we are sorry to hear that.
I do believe that, Mom.
He should have company.
He should.
Tell me, has he heard from Mountjoy from Ireland?
Letters passed between them, but my lord has not heard from Ireland of late.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, perhaps it's not good for him to be in touch with those with military responsibilities.
I am sure he means to be a loyal servant to Your Majesty.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. Has he heard from King James of late, from Scotland? You can tell me, Francis. We know he had dealings with him from before. If we are to prevent him being a danger to himself, we must know these things. You know, I speak out of love for him, Francis.
The Earl carries a black bag around his neck. He never takes it off. I believe they are letters from Scotland.
Scotland! Letters from Scotland, I knew it! Mountjoy will not move the Irish army to assist him. So he waits for the King of Scotland. Well, he's going to wait a long time for that young man.
What are Your Majesty's wishes?
To force him into action. Since he is not ready, unreadiness is all. He's fool enough. Send someone to the Earl of Essex. Tell him we require him at council.
Would you wish me to go, Mom?
No. No, pick me. Send Sir Francis Bacon. He's a persuasive enough fellow. Keep Lady Essex here until it's all over.
Mom.
Well, little Bacon. And what, I wonder, are you about?
Her Majesty requires your presence at the council.
I'm sure to be there, Sir Francis, but at the moment I am all of a sweat after playing tennis.
The court is no place for a sweat, you know.
She requires it at once, my lord. And her conditions...
Her conditions? Her conditions are as crooked as her carcass. I command you all to put down your weapons and to depart, to show your allegiance to the Queen.
But we will not do so.
Take him to the hall and keep him there until he returns. Treason, my lord! Rebellion! The Queen has had her mind poisoned by evil counselors, my lord. Robert Cecil. Robert Cecil will sell us to Spain. Let's die before we let him. The court!
What was not Lucifer cast out for just that sin?
To the court!
The wicked
To the Queen!
rise!
For the Queen! There is a plot laid for one life.
Sir Robert Cecil is a traitor to this country. Who will join us to get rid of him? You promised us the sheriff of the city, my lord. I do not see him.
No. He will come out for us.
Soon, I hope. We must hang together or we shall hang separately, for the people are not with us.
Majesty.
There's a noise below. There's some fray in Fleet Street.
Ma'am. Ma'am, there is great danger.
You have no confidence in your queen, Pygmy?
We do not seek to fight. All we seek is the removal of certain councillors of yours who have worked against those of us who really love you. Justice!
You do not come to seek justice. You come to decide which of us shall rule this kingdom, you or I. And I tell you, Essex, it is I who rule. Do your work, Sir Thomas.
Forward! Forward!
You burn these letters in King James. No, just burn them now. Burn everything!
Where's Reina, my lord?
All is lost. We are dead men.
What of the mad, ungrateful wretch?
He's captured, Mom.
I swear before God that I bear a true heart to Her Majesty. I was in fear of my life from my enemies.
My lord, you remind me of the Athenian who cut himself and then cried murder. Was it to defend yourself that you imprisoned me and those whom the Queen sent to you to call you to your senses?
Oh, Sir Francis, whom I ever served well and to whom I gave my love freely. Have you served your Queen so faithfully? Have you not lied and pretended friendship to me and deceived her as to your loyalty?
I loved you, my lord. As long as you continued a dutiful subject, and I have spent more hours to make you a good subject to Her Majesty, than ever I did about my own business.
Which has of late been to crawl upon your hands and knees to Robert Cecil. And Robert Cecil is in the pay of Spain.
My Lord of Essex, the difference between you and me is great. For wit, I give you the preeminence. You have it abundantly.
I thank you. Have you come to apologize?
For nobility also, I give you place. I am not noble, though a gentleman. I am no swordsman, but I have innocence, conscience, truth and honesty to defend me. You have a wolf's head in a sheep's clothing, sir.
Oh, Master Secretary, I thank God for my humiliation that you are come here in the rough of all your bravery to make your oration against me today.
Who says I am in the pay of Spain? Name your authority. Or is this some new fantasy of yours?
Why, that is easy answered. He stands next to me. The Earl of Southampton told me that he knew it for a fact.
I'm sorry for it, my lord, but
But did not you say that?
I did not, my lord. And you know it is not so. I never said that the secretary was in the pay of Spain.
Then I am damned, my lord. And you with me.
Guilty.
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 You have been pronounced guilty of treason. And you will suffer the punishment of traitors, which is death.
No! No, I swear upon mine honor, I never meant any harm to Her Majesty. And if I have been led astray, then I humbly beg your pardon, but I am no traitor, sirs. My lord, you know I ever loved the Queen, and I told you so.
So be it, my lords. While I would not have it thought that I despised the Queen's clemency, I would not make any cringing submission to obtain it.
There's also the question of monopolies, ma'am. Just as some thought the Earl of Essex abused his privilege of the ownership of the tax of sweet wines, so now some of the Parliament see the profits of many in the hands of too few. And... Your Majesty?
The Queen cannot be safe while I live, and I do humbly ask her pardon. I give her thanks that she has moderated the terrible sentence of treason, but I do solemnly swear that the 4 quarters of my body are hers, are always hers, and I do yield them up to her with a glad heart. I ask forgiveness of my sins, which are numbered as the hairs on my head. Most especially, this last, this great and infectious sin of mine, rebellion against her whom I swear I did always love with all my heart. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will. The executioner strike home.
Put his lapdog, little Southampton, in the tower. No more blood. Please God, no more blood. I will spare the others where I can. Send me their names.
Yes, Your Majesty.
You knew what it was to love him too, I think.
I think I did, Your Majesty.
Well, you may go, little pygmy. I mean no harm by the name. It's but my humor.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Her conditions were as crooked as her carcass. Well, well, well. You may leave us now.
He had sent you this ring and these verses.
My prime of youth is but a frost of cares. My feast of joy is but a dish of pain. My cup of corn is but a field of tares, and all my good is but vain hope of gain. The day is gone, and yet I saw no sun. And now I live, and now my life is done.
Why so many glum faces? Are my people out of love with me?
Money is all, Ma'am. Many in the House speak against the monopolies you grant the traders. They say only a few are favored.
Taxes were granted to the Earl of Essex, which should not have been granted. The enemy of monarchs is the overmighty subject. If this poor old wife before you has offended by granting profits to the few and not to the general number, then let us have an end to that. Let us be one. I do assure you there is no prince who better loves his subjects, nor whose love can countervail our own. There is no jewel, be it of never so rich a price, which I set above this jewel. I mean your loves. For I esteem it more than any treasure or riches. For that we know how to prize, but love and thanks we count invaluable. And though God hath raised me high, yet this I count the glory of my crown, that I have reigned with your loves.
Well?
The doctors can find no cause of it, sir.
Is your Majesty in pain? Is the sickness in your side, or...?
I'm not so sick as some would have me. Bring me a mirror. Bring me a mirror. There was a man once.
Does your Majesty mean the Earl of Essex? Does your Majesty mean the Earl of Leicester?
The hardest thing to govern is the heart. Raise me up.
Your Majesty must rest. Your Majesty, please consider.
Leave me. Go.
She has stood like that about 15 hours now, sir. Never once talking.
How long since she has eaten?
It is 3 weeks since she has eaten.
Go to, go to. Your Majesty?
Well, you are to tell me to take to my bed. If you saw such things in your bed as I see in mine, you would not go there.
Mom, you must.
Must.
that man, whoever he was. Fetch me a priest, girl. I'm minded to die.